Hey guys, and welcome to game number 39 out of 100 of my rematch against the AI-powered Scrabble BestBot. We have been trading blows lately. A lot of really intense games have gone down to the wire. We split last week, we split the week before. I'm hoping I can get 2 wins this week to cut my deficit a little bit further. We're currently down by 12 games, 13 and 25 through the first 38, as you can see. Would love to make that 15 and 25 by the end of this week, if possible. But we're going to have to get through this game, and that means getting through this interesting opening rack if we want to do that. Some good stuff here, no bingos. The biggest decision is going to be, do I play short with Ka for 12 and try to bingo on my next turn? ACERS, one of the best 5-tile leaves you'll ever see in Scrabble for bingoing. Or do I take 32 points, 20 more with Creek, and still keep a reasonable leave in AS? I think I go with Creek here, guys. I mean, 20 is a lot to give up. As good as ACERS is, AS is still reasonable. I also set up the S hook for Creeks or Screek, which is really good for myself. If the bot doesn't have an S, this does a pretty good job at limiting its options, especially the C cuts off the top part of the board, being that there are no 2s with a C. I think this has enough merit that despite the worst leave, it's 20 more points. I'm going to go with this. Okay. Another S. Almost creaking. Yeah, I want to watch out for creaking or creakier, actually. That could definitely become relevant. And the bot plays in jam for 23. Okay. Well, first question, do I have a bingo? I want to say no. Don't see a 7. And I don't see an 8 through any of the waters in jam or the remaining floaters in creek. It's just not that great a rack with the 2 A's and the 2 S's and the G. I think I'm going to just play in jams and Sigla here and be pretty happy. 36, still keeping another S for creeks and Screek. This, I think, just has to be the best play, assuming I'm not missing a bingo somehow, which I feel pretty confident I'm not. And I draw nauseas, so that is a good draw. Sigla does not take an S. But yeah, creeks and nauseas is going to have to be the play here, I would imagine, barring that getting blocked. 78 points. If somehow the bot plays down there, then hopefully it'll still play with Screek in either of 2 spots. So far this is looking like a pretty good start to this game for me, but it's still early. I don't want to get too excited or too ahead of myself, that's for sure. We've seen what BestBot is capable of, and it plays high, which is certainly fine by me. I don't think there's too much to think about here. I don't have anything from that C. Once again, Sigla, already a plural, doesn't take an S. Nauseous it is. 78 points. Let's see what we get. All right, definitely not the best, but it's also not the worst. I mean, it's pretty bad, but I'll have options. I could play Odie on the bottom right. Oh, I actually have an even better play, as the bot does bingo back with Redliner. I have Vomit. Could play Vomity or Vomito. So Vomito scores 6 less, but at least keeps the Y to maybe somewhat balance out my vowels. Although AIY is still pretty bad. The Y really doesn't go well with other vowels, especially I's. So I think I would just grab the 6 and play Vomity, if those are my options. Odie does keep a constant, keeps the V, but the V is just not good. I mean, IOV is really not a good leaf. So I still think, even though I hate keeping 3 vowels and no consonants, I still think Vomity is my choice of those options. The question is, do I possibly have a different option that I'm either overlooking or that maybe the bot just opened up that I haven't seen yet? Of course, Redliners is a threat, but there's really not a whole lot I can do about it. There's only 1 S left, so it's not a huge threat. I don't see anything to the E in Redliner, the blank E. I don't see anything through this N. That's the last spot. I want to make sure I'm not missing something, like almost Vanity. If Veiny were good like this, I would love to play that. But it's certainly not. I just don't really see a way for me to get the V or the Y on that triple letter score and hit the double word. I don't think it's possible. So yeah, I think Vomity it is. There's really no overlaps here. It's worth mentioning hooking MI. I actually don't have anything that hooks MI with MIT not being valid. So yeah, Vomity it is. Hopefully I don't get a Nightmare Vel draw. That is not a Nightmare Vel draw. I will take that any day. I mean, I'm probably not bingoing, but I mean, maybe if I get an S for Saloxing, which I don't, and I mean, now do I just have to keep even more vowels and play Lynx? I probably do, right? It's 66 points. Oh man, that lead is bad though. Let's just think for a second. Like if I can score high 40s to 50s and keep a much better leave, that might be worth it. AEIO, especially with 9 E's and 6 O's still left, is bad. It's really bad. Yeah, this is a turn that's worth not playing instantly. For sure. I mean, I just don't think... I just don't quite think this is worth it, guys. I mean, this is obviously much better as a leave. But it's still not a great leave. And it's 22 fewer points. I just think that's a little too much to give up. But yeah, I mean, I'll probably end up just playing Lynx, but it's good not to autopilot these turns because 66 is a lot of points, but AEIO is really bad. Like, I'm often going to just end up trading on my next turn. So if I can score like 45, 50 now and keep a good enough leave, I mean, I guess Axis is like 45. I just don't think it's good enough, though. Like, if Axion played here, I could see that for 49. NI is not good, so that's not going to work. Stuff like Axile can't be worth it. It also gives back a ton of counterplay. It's only 41. Oh, but how about Xenial? Yeah, that's worth it, right? I mean, 52 points. I mean, I think that's worth it, guys. It's 14 less, which is a bit. But, I mean, just an O. It's not great, but it's so much better than AEIO. I get more turnover for the blank, or just some reasonable scoring tiles or something. Like, AEIO drawing into a 50-50 pool, basically, with 9 E's and 6 O's, is just asking for an almost guaranteed trade on my next turn. I think I gotta play Xenial here, and at least give myself a chance. You know, I'm also going to be up a bit. When you're up, it's usually good to try to prioritize leave more so than when you're down, because when you're up, your opponent's down, and when your opponent's down, your opponent needs to come back, and when your opponent needs to come back, they need to open the board, and when your opponent opens the board, then it's nice to have a balanced leave to respond. If your opponent opens the board and you have 7 vowels, and there's a tile in the middle of the triple line that you can't do anything about, you're going to be very sad and scared, and you don't want to be very sad and scared when you're playing Scrabble trying to maintain a lead. So, all of that goes to say, I think I'm going to sacrifice the 14 points and get rid of a few more vowels and play Xenial. And alright, I get the Q, which is not amazing. Actually, fairly constant heavy draw there, interestingly. Wow, I draw EMNPQT out of the bag. Interesting. The pool is now officially vowel heavy. Got 24 vowels, 22 constants. I am probably just going to drop the Q for 22 unless something changes. This is a pretty good rack here. I hit Metapon with any of the 6 O's, Pimento with any of the 4 I's. Yeah, and I don't think that changes anything. I mean, that hits a fair amount. I mean, 6 O's and 4 I's, that's 10 out of, plus the blank, that's like 25% right there. Postman with an S I see as well. I mean, that's pretty unlikely, but I think that's got to be enough to be worth it over something like Toke. Yeah, I think so. The leave is just so much more well-balanced. Do I have anything that's just too many points to pass up through this Y? Timpani? I don't think so. There is still redliners. I wouldn't mind playing there at some point. Toke doesn't even really block redliners. I mean, partially does, but it just makes that. See, the problem with Toke actually is that it partially blocks redliners, but you can still play something starting with an S. And Toke actually makes it even harder to effectively block that, because without a T for Toquette, now I can't even play across from the Y, and that actually really protects that hook, which is not something I want to do, not having the S at this score. So yeah, I think I just play Chi. Maybe I'll get lucky and draw an I or an O, And if I don't, I still have a decent enough rack. And I can do something through the Y next turn or something else. I got an O. Love it. Meta pawn coming down immediately down the E column if it stays open. If it doesn't, I'll be a little bit sad, but I'll have options. Like I said, I can just play like typo. I don't love typo again. I'd love to play a 5 here just to take out redliners. Again, this just makes redliners such a nightmare to block. So I'm really not too keen on that. All right, perfect. I'm much more keen on just bingoing for 75 points. I'm going to play that instantly, basically. Grottoed through the T. That's GG if that stays open. I mean, I got to imagine. I mean, that's another 74. Oh, 78. Excuse me. Yeah, I got the G and the D on the doubles. So yeah, that's 78 points. At this score, that's, like I said, basically GG on the spot, assuming I get it down. If the bot blocks it, I mean, I'm still in good shape, especially if it bingos and blocks it. I'm still going to have a little bit of work to do, especially with redliners still open. Okay, well that doesn't block Grottoed, which is the good news, but at least the bot doesn't have an S anymore. So redliners is going to require the blank. It's not a good draw. If I can safely make it to fewer than 7 in the bag, then I'll be feeling pretty good, because then the bot won't be able to bingo twice without, or twice at all, or even once without emptying. Yeah, this is not over yet, guys, I have to say. Yep, here you go. Okay, so Meowed comes down for 81. Lots of things are happening here. I'm glad I have time still to process this. I'm up 39 too, which is good, considering I have a really bad rack and the pool is not too bad, honestly. Alright, so what do I want to do here? What are my biggest threats to losing? So obviously the bot could bingo. I mean, I guess under Grottoed would be the most likely place for that to happen, I would have to presume. Certainly stuff like Recital, Feltier, Fertile. There's plenty of things that play there for somewhere around the 75 range. Other than that, it's actually pretty hard for the bot to bingo. I mean, I don't see it bingoing through this P. Fire Trap? That doesn't even work. There's only one R left. It might not even be possible. It might be possible. I don't want to spend time trying to figure out if there's a 1 in 200 whatever bingo from the P. So that's the biggest spot for bingos. But I just worry. I mean, if I... See, I can't get too complacent, though, and try to sacrifice too much to block. I mean, if I try to do like something like this... See, the problem with this play, guys, is I still have a clunky rack. Now, if the bot just plays like Tiz above the INA, it's a tie game. I've got garbage. 1 in the bag. I'm not liking that too much, especially against BestBot. The other option, or another option, there's plenty of other options. I could just try to keep scoring. So here is 30 points. It keeps a bad leave, a very bad leave. Maybe I play like Vibe. Mostly bucks, or even Vibe here actually, because that at least keeps a better leave than something like Duh. And this should block pretty much all the bingos. I mean, yeah, I think I like this Vibe better, because this Vibe allows stuff like Ladderize, and I'm sure other things through that eye. It's also only like 1 more point. I mean, this is going to make it pretty hard to bingo. Only 6 letters will fit under the ED. Unless it starts with an O, but I mean, good luck doing that. Or starts with this O. I guess I could bingo from this O, but like, it's hard to bingo from an O. It's really hard. I don't really see anything with that pull. There's probably something, but like, it's just not likely. And I feel better about my chances of beating Tiz after this play. I mean, I'm going to go up 50. Tiz would be... And see, Tiz empties the bag now too, guys. Like, that's key. Then I can play an endgame. I saved Duh, which is really good. Yeah, like, this feels pretty secure in most endgames. Yeah, I mean, Tiz is how many again? 47? So I'd still be up 3 and a turn. I think I should win that in most cases. Like, this rack is fine enough, especially with Duh. I can play under Meowed. Like, I think I should win that, usually. And, I mean, I do worry if I do this. Like, I could lose for sure. I mean, so there's 4 in the bag. The bot bingos with, like, Fertile or something, let's say. That's 78 points. I'm going to be down 9. I mean, if the bot bingos with Fertile and draws into, like, ACET, I am probably in trouble. Yeah, I mean, if I draw, like, WZ here, I don't think Was is going to cut it through that U and Nauseous. No way. Because then the bot just has to go out, which it'll be able to do. Or even, like, AETW. Yeah, it's dicey after this if the bot bingos. It's all going to depend on whether the bot draws an out. Yeah, I think Vibe is better. Like, I only want to make a play like Vibe if I'm really confident, that I'm going to win if the bot doesn't bingo. There's also Dobie. It's more points. That V is so bad, though. Yeah, Artifice still fits through that I. I mean, it's very unlikely. Yeah, I don't like Dobie. I really, really want to get rid of this V badly. Or at least the U, if nothing. But, I mean, the V is so bad with FW. I gotta get rid of this V. I really think I gotta get rid of this V. Yeah, I mean, like, the nice thing with Vibe... I guess, though, you know, I should think about, like, if I draw the Z, like, what am I going to do with the Z, actually? That could maybe be a problem. So the good thing is if I don't get the Z, then the bot can't score with the Z. Or, I'm sorry, if I do get the Z, the bot can't score with the Z. But, yeah, my concern is what am I actually going to really do with it? I mean, I can drop it for 21. I'm not dying to have to do that. Yeah, it's not great, actually, if I get the Z. I mean, maybe I'll still be fine, but it doesn't feel great. I mean, I feel like there'd be some situations where I could end up in trouble if the bot gets a really good out in 2. Can't make up 50, though. Maybe not. Oh, Aleph plays. Shoot, ALEF on the top left. Ugh. Aleph, ouch. Yeah, that's a lot. If the bot has Aleph, then I can easily lose this. Easily. Dang. Maybe I play Hub. Stop that and keep a little bit more of a flexible lead if I do bingo by getting rid of, or if the bot does bingo. Maybe I play Hub for 25. Go up 64. See, the problem again, though, is if I bingo, or if the bot bingos, and I draw the Z, what am I doing with it? Not much. Yeah, there's a lot to be worried about. This is not a simple position like I thought it might be at first. Huh. I don't think there's a good way to ensure that, or to block while ensuring that I have enough to outrun plays like Aleph and Tiz. I just don't really think so. Interesting. Very tough. Yeah, just nowhere really good to... I mean, yeah, Dobie here, if I draw the Z, that could be a disaster. This is a really, really tough turn. I legitimately do not know what to do, and I've, like, burned all my time here. Yeah, maybe I just can't block. I don't know. It feels like I should try to block this. I mean, does Vibe here? I know it leaves some bingos, but does it at least leave me outs with the Z? Not necessarily. I mean, Zuid doesn't work. mean, Vide keeping Biz? Nah. I mean, I could lose to Tiz too easily. That can't be the right play. And I just don't have, like, updive or anything here, right? Huh. What a tough turn. Maybe do I just play Maybe I play reduce my chances of getting... Yeah, the B is actually not horrible. I think I like better than hub, because then... Now if the bot bingos has to draw 4, it's less likely to have an out. And I have less chance of drawing the Z. Yeah, I think I like this. I should still win if I draw the Z if the bot doesn't bingo. I'm going to go with this. I don't know. Alright, whoa. FW is the draw. Sheesh. FW. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I didn't play... Oh boy. Vibe. Yikes. Now what? Jeez. Ugh. Shoot. Dang it. I can't pass. Because then if the bot bingos with like a recital. I think I play one. Yeah, alright. Here's what I do. I think. Oh, am I going to get outrun with like lazy or no? I won't. No way. Just save like, yeah, I think I do this. So that if the bot, I hope to miss the Z, and now if the bot bingos with like recital in either spot, I can Z stick it. I think. I don't know. Please don't give me the Z. Yes! Okay, phew. Now I should just win. Man. That was crazy. Yeah, I didn't think about plays like eat on the bottom. That could happen. But yeah, I had to block Za proactively, guys, because here's the thing. If I didn't block, then yes, there's only one spot, but if, say, the bot bingoed with Recital under Grottoed and sacrificed some points, then it would set up another spot for Za with the A and Recital, and I actually wouldn't Z-stick it. So this is the way to ensure that a Z-stick will happen. All right, yeah, Zid is just not going to cut it. I mean, I'm not worried. I really was not worried about being outrun here. I mean, I can play Bovid. I have 37 seconds. Jeez. Didn't I have like 10 minutes like not too long ago? What happened? Vrow or Bovid? I mean, does RW not go out? I'm not sure if RW goes out, actually. Let's just play Vrow. That'll go out easily. Yeah, this is fine. I don't... Oh, maybe it doesn't even go out. Huh. I guess it doesn't. Alright. Just play like Bud. Alright. Phew. 474, 440. It's a deceptively stressful game there, guys. Wow. I mean, I want to look at first. Like, let's just... Did I miss anything glaring when I played That's what I want to know first here. Because that was... I spent like 8 minutes there. I just couldn't find anything. I don't think Vid is better. Yeah, I saw Hub. I saw Hob. Alright, so at least I didn't miss anything like glaringly obvious. That's good. Maybe I made a strategical mistake. I very well might have. Do I play No, I don't think I play here to block the Z immediately. Because I could still get the Z and want that spot at this point. Yeah, I mean, maybe I do play Hub. FW is a weird draw. This is so tough because, yeah, I mean, again, blocking plays just felt inadequate. I mean, well, first things first, plays under Grotto don't really block, right? I mean, plays like Hop don't actually block that effectively because a lot of stuff just fits below. And yeah, I mean, I'm just really worried. I play Vibe again for 11, right? The bot plays potentially Aleph, ALEF above Tindamus. That's a lot. I mean, until 11, 39, that's 52 points. I'm going to be down. And then, if I draw the Z, like, what am I doing with it? If I have to waste a turn playing it, and then I can't go out in 2, I could be in big trouble, potentially. It's hard to say for sure. And then, I mean, I feel pretty good if the bot plays Tiz after this. Because then I don't have to worry about the Z, and I can probably just outrun it with plays like Duh. I don't know, maybe I do, because I guess the timing is bad for the bot with Olive, right? I didn't consider that part. If bot plays Olive, it's going to have 6 left. So it probably can't go out. So maybe I'm fine. I don't know. Like, if I draw ZF, well, I guess I'm not drawing the F. If I draw, like, ZW, yeah, I guess then I have was, maybe. That's the thing. All right, maybe I should have just done this. I mean, the situation I went into got extremely, extremely dicey. So maybe I do this and then just... It's actually a little bit more forcing here not to... Or to block as opposed to not block. Usually not blocking is the more forcing line because then it's sort of like, well, if they have a bingo, they have a bingo. But here I think blocking just kind of forces the bot to go straight into an endgame. Because now, like, if it tries some business like eat on the bottom, then I can just block it and not have to worry about anything else. So this just sort of forces an endgame. Yeah, I mean, Olive maybe wins in some extreme lines for the bot. Tiz... I don't see Tiz winning hardly ever, if ever. Again, maybe some absolutely extreme draws for me, like FWC or something. Maybe. Or Olive if I draw like ZTT, maybe. I don't know, but there's probably some extreme draws after Vibe where I can lose in the endgame, but it's rare. And I don't know if BestBot, I mean, hardly ever bingos after this. Maybe in some cases it can, but hardly ever. So I think this might be a better play. Like, yeah, I ran into issues with this, even without having the Z. Like, things got extremely dicey. I think the thing is, like, the Z aside, especially ZW aside, pool is pretty good for bingoing. I think there's just too many bingos, guys, here. I think I have to block. I think I just started panicking and not feeling entirely confident in my ability to win this endgame after a play like Vibe, but I should have been more confident. See, there's also Ovoid. That's interesting. That's a pretty good block, too. My concern with this is twofold. Number one, leaving only 2 in the bag means the bot will only have 5 after Olive, which makes it a little more likely to have an out. Number 2, HUB feels worse than HUOD. Getting rid of the extra vowel, just another heavy consonant with the B to have to deal with. I don't know. It's a few more points, which is nice. Probably should have at least considered it. But yeah, I think here, guys, the more I look at it, also with the hindsight factor, I don't think this was a good idea. I think if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to not block, I think is a good play. So that if the bot bingos immediately, then it has to draw 4. And I also just minimize my chances of getting the Z, which again, the Z is a bad tile here, probably for either of us. So I think it's not a bad idea. I think I miscalculated or misevaluated. I think I got to block here, guys. I think there's too many bingos, and I'm just too likely to run into plays like E, which is a great play for the bot. Yeah, I mean, it's just loses. Yeah, it's got to do this, right? I mean, you can draw IR for reticle T or cell. It can draw cleated. And I might not even be able to block Elector. Yeah, there's absolutely stuff it can draw. This is a great play. And yet now it's like, well, crap, what do I do, right? I mean, that's not going to cut it. Yeah, no, I mean, come on. If I draw the Z and the bot bingo's out, it's going to catch me with like 50 freaking points here. Yeah, that just loses to bingos. I think here, I mean, the problem is too many bingos play in both spots. Like, article will fit because article recital, reticle, T or cell. If ZA or ZE is in the bag, like the bot's bingoing. It doesn't pay to block. Yeah, so I think I have the right idea here. Stop the Z play so that if somehow, if the bot bingos, I at least have a 50-50 shot as opposed to no shot, right? Because now, if the bot bingos in either spot and it draws the Z, which by definition will still be in the bag, I'm going to win because it's going to get stuck. So I think this is the right play. And here's the thing too. If it fishes, well, if it has the Z, it can't fish the Z because there's nowhere to play the Z now since I'm blocking it. And if it doesn't already have the Z and it fishes, it's going to get the Z, assuming I miss it. So I'm not really giving it anything it doesn't have I don't think, by allowing it to fish. I guess there is the risk. I guess, there is also the risk, though, that I draw the Z and that it doesn't already have a bingo, right? Like, let's say it has treacle, Treacle, which is a word but it doesn't play here. I do give it a chance to fish one. And then if I draw the Z, I'm dead. Whereas if I just play off fob immediately or something and it has treacle right away, I can actually win. Because it doesn't play. That's interesting. Yeah, the bot, I guess, it comes down to if I do what I did and I miss the Z, then I think I just win. Although, wait, the bot could have realize, too. Oh, I think I bungled this, guys. Yeah, because the bot could also have realize. But then if it draws a C, no, it's not C stuck. Because it has core and arc. Yeah, so if it draws realize, I just lose. Although eat, let's think about eat a little bit here, right? I mean, it obviously didn't have the Z. So there's a 1 in 3 chance the Z is in the bag. It obviously didn't have the Z. It probably had the other T. It probably doesn't play eat without the other T. So realize is probably not happening. That helps a little bit. Probably had another E, the other T, and then kind of, who knows? Could have had ALERT, could have had ACERT, could have had a bunch of stuff. Could have had EELCT, which is on the weaker side of potential leaves, as it had. But it probably had an E and a T, and then who knows? But yeah, I mean, if I draw the Z here, that's the thing. If I draw the Z, even if the bot doesn't bingo immediately, it can fish. And that's scary, because it's often going to fish off an E and then hit recital. Yeah, Or fish off a C and hit atelier. That fits in both spots. Oh boy. Yeah, if I draw the Z here, I'm almost dead. Regardless of what the bot has, I think. Whereas if I just play fob here, what are the odds that the bot actually bingos? I mean, let's assume that eat kept ET. So, yeah, I mean, if the ZE is, again, if I don't draw the Z, I win. But now my odds of getting the Z are higher, guys, because I'm playing 2 tiles. Right, so when the bot played eat, let's think about this. So when the bot played eat, there were 4 in the bag. There's a 50-50 shot it picked up the Z. If it picked up the Z, then I basically just win. Because I think it had another T with E, and it's not going to have realize. And that goes regardless. So yeah, if I play aft here, then we think there's a 25%. Actually, I said 1 in 3 before. It's actually 1 in 4. Because the bot already had 2 chances to draw with eat, right? There were 4 in the bag, it played 2. So that's a 2 in 4, a 50% chance it just pulled the Z. If it pulled the Z, I'm not getting the Z. If it didn't pull the Z, then the Z's still in the bag, and there's a 50-50 shot I get it with aft. So there's a 1 in 4 chance I draw the Z after aft, in which case I think it's safe to assume I'm probably going to just lose, because if the bot doesn't bingo immediately, it'll probably fish, and it'll probably hit its fish in most cases, I would imagine, based on what it would probably fish. So I think it's safe to assume I'm going to lose if I draw the Z after aft. So this is a 3 in 4 win. It'll win if I don't draw the Z, because again, if I don't draw the Z, then the bot's either going to bingo and then get it and then get stuck, or the bot is going to just have it and then basically be screwed. Lazier on the bottom is not going to be enough to win. There's just no way. It's only 50 points. So all right, this is a 3 out of 4, which is not bad. The question is, if I just play fob and basically pray the bot can't bingo, is that better? So yeah, now I've got a 50-50 shot at getting the Z. If the bot got the Z, we're assuming it has the other T, I'm safe. If I get the Z, well then let's think about this. If I get ZA, I lose. If I get ZC, I lose. If I get ZE, I lose. If I get ZI, I win. If I get ZL, I win. And ZR, I win. Right? Yeah. ZT, we're just assuming is not going to happen because of E. I don't see how E ever really doesn't keep at the other T. It seems almost impossible. I mean, maybe it's possible, but it seems very rare. So, Yeah, so if after fob, once again, my losses, if I draw the Z, then my losses are ZA, ZC, ZE, right? Yeah. So that's, I mean, and if ZT isn't a possibility, then that's slightly more than 50%, right? Because ACEE is 4 out of 7 that I might draw. If the other tile is going to have to be one of ACEE ILR. So actually, if after fob, if I draw the Z, I seem to lose just over 50%. And that means if I'm going to draw the Z 50% and then lose over 50% when I draw the Z, I'm actually losing slightly more than 25%. Because slightly more than 50% of 50% is slightly more than 25%. So fob, by that math, actually loses more than my play of aft here. Because like I said, aft, I only draw the Z 25% of the time. Because I'm only drawing one tile. That's so key here, guys. So yeah, I think after aft, once again, if I dodge the Z, I fail to see how I'm not safe. I think realize is extraordinarily unlikely, if not borderline impossible, given the bot's play of eat. Assuming I'm correct in that inference, then yeah, I think if I just don't draw the Z, I win. If I draw the Z, I pretty much lose. So yeah, I mean, the game, I think, guys, in this case, is just going to come down to whether I get the Z. If I get it, I'm screwed. If I don't, I win. After fob, it's not that simple, because if I don't draw the Z, then I should still win, barring realize. If I do draw the Z, then it depends on what my other tile is. So I have some life here if I draw the Z, but I'm twice as likely to draw the Z, because I'm drawing two tiles. And I think that just barely makes fob a worse play, because with most of the other tiles, again, ACEE, 4 out of 7, I think I'm likely to draw. It is going to be a loss. So I think I still made the right play here, but it's far, far, far from trivial. Wow. I didn't, I mean, in fairness, I had just spent so much time and mental energy on the last position, but I didn't really give this position the respect it deserved for its complexity. Yeah, and like I said, blocking, I don't think does anything better than fob, because I don't think there's anything. Right, there are no bingos the bot can have that only play in one spot. Either they all play in both places, or like Treacle, they don't at all. So there's actually nothing to be gained from blocking. It's really a question here, am I playing one and blocking the Z spot to guarantee a Z stick if the bot bingos and draws the Z, or am I just praying that the bot doesn't bingo? Yeah, I think I made the right call here, guys. But yeah, that's tough. And here the bot just gives up, because yeah, it has the Z, and there's literally nowhere to play the Z now. So yeah, wow. Crazy game. And I don't know if I played this endgame correctly. And we'll go back and analyze the beginning parts too. But this was by far the most interesting. So that's what I wanted to get to first. I'm not going to worry about that endgame. I might not have played it well, but that's fine. Yeah, I think aft was correct. I really don't like in hindsight. I think this was a bad play by me here. I mean, I just got myself into such a pickle, right? Like with this eat play that the bot made. It made my life so difficult and stressful on the next turn. And I mean, the bot could have just as easily bingoed here. Yeah, I think I got to play vibe here. Like I said, it's always sucks when you try to play defense and your opponent just wins without bingoing. But I think it's very unlikely here, given the endgame timing of vibe. I think Aleph probably, unless I just draw absolutely horrendously, should still lose. Likewise with Tiz. And like in this case, like I said, usually just trying to score and outrun and being like, if you bingo is more forcing. But here it's not so simple. Because with it wasn't just like the bot either bingos or it doesn't. It might play eat for 3 instead of another line, and then I've got major headaches again. So it's actually the least forcing line here. I think I should have just forced an endgame with vibe. So yeah, I don't think I played this one correctly. I think I played the next one correctly, though. But crazy, crazy game. Let's look at the earlier stages. Because there were a lot of interesting turns this game before we even got to that position. Yeah, so Creek, I guess you could do Act 2 or Ka. I just think it's too big a point sacrifice. I don't like giving up that many when I'm still keeping it perfectly fine lead with AS. I'm fine with this play. Sigla looks good. Oh, maybe I play Saiga, actually, so that with another S. You know, that's not crazy. It's aggressive, but, I mean, I have another S. There's no saying the bot does. I guess the question is, do I need to do this? Because I'm not in a bad position here. I'm taking a little bit of a lead, and I still have Creeks and Screeks. So maybe I don't need to take that chance. But there is a lot of upside. It's interesting. Definitely worth at least considering. I very well might have done that if I thought about it. Wow, the bot can't bingo here? Hirudin doesn't fit? Wow. Interesting. I would have definitely spent some time here convincing myself there was nothing to it, especially a C, which goes so well with an H. Wow. Shocking almost that there's no bingo, but there isn't. I get down nauseas. The bot gets down redliner. Vomity looks good. Okay. Fringy is a good play. Yeah, this one. So, again, I mean, this is just wrong on equity. Like, I'm sorry. I know Woogle's equity engine likes vowels. AEIO is worse than negative 4.26. It's bad, especially, and this is something that the analyzer doesn't consider, especially when there are 9 E's and 6 O's still in the pool. That leave is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. I stand by my decision here. I would do this again, absolutely. I know it's 14 less. That's a lot. But, I mean, just an O is not a good leave, but it's fine. I mean, it's not that bad. It's just AEIO is so bad. I think it's better. I mean, with that pool especially, AEIO is so scary, and there's, plenty of good scoring tiles, another S and a blank. I'm playing Xenial every time here. I think it's just a clearly better play, if you ask me. Clearly, the hasty bot strongly disagrees, and some folks might also disagree, but I think it's the right play. Oh, I missed myope. Ouch. Yeah, that's probably worth it. Yeah, well, I'm glad I drew a bingo on my next turn, because I just did not see that word. Yes, tricky with starting with MY. Yeah, I know I've missed that word before. Maybe I missed myopia in one of these games, something similar. But, yeah, I think that's worth it here, guys. I mean, my QI spot is likely to stay open. Also, I might draw one of the other eyes and actually cheese both ways, which would be almost 50. And I take out redliners now, and it's 45 points. Yeah, that's better. This is a mistake. I mean, I got lucky here. It's not that likely for me to bingo. What did we say? It was like 20-25% maybe. It's not good enough to justify giving up 23 points. Yeah, that was a very bad play. Very bad play. Lucky to draw well. Okay, so the bot doesn't play waste. Yeah, makes sense. You got the last S. Might as well. And yeah, Myo blocking redliners too is so huge. That was a really bad play, guys. I'm very lucky I didn't get punished. And I was actually kind of glad the bot bingoed here with its S, because now I'm like, well, I don't have to worry about redliners anymore. I guess unless it bingos with the blank, but now it bingos here with the blank. So, and now here we are with the turn. So yeah, definitely QI was just like my most silly mistake of the game. Like, I can't just be missing my up. Like, I just flat out missed a play. That's not good. Here is a mistake, I think. And I spent I'm only upset because I spent like 9 minutes. Like, I think I should have been able to reason out that Vibe would win in most cases. And I figured it did, but I think I still overestimated how often it loses, because it rarely loses. Yeah, there's just a lot to think about, guys. And it's funny, the longer you spend, I find sometimes the more likely you are to make the wrong decision, because you're just going in circles and you're talking to yourself and you can't remember, oh, does this potential line go with this move? Like, there's just a lot of thoughts going through your head. So maybe I spent too long here. I don't know. Maybe I overcomplicated it. I guess I did a little bit. I think I should just play Vibe or something similar in block. Maybe there's another play I missed too. Like I said, I didn't miss anything crazy, but maybe there's a play that's just a little bit better than Vibe as a block. If you guys see anything here, obviously feel free to let me know. It's a tough position. I don't think I got it right. The next position is absolutely brutal too, but I think, like I said, given the inference I can make that the bot obviously didn't have the Z, probably had another E and a T, I do think playing 1 here as I did, blocking the Z spot, is the correct play. Barely over just playing and hoping the bot doesn't have a bingo, but it's a close one for sure. And yeah, so I think the mistake I'm the most upset about is Chi. I should just not be missing Myope there. It's clearly a better play. I mean, I guess I wish I got it right, or what I think is right, but it's a tough one. Very tough one. But interesting game. We had a lot of really stressful, interesting games lately. Another long video, but I know it's interesting, or at least I hope it's interesting to you guys. I'd like to think if you guys have made it 44 minutes, then you at least find it somewhat interesting. And for all of you guys who have made it 44 minutes, thank you all so much for doing so. Really appreciate all your support and watching all my videos. Can't thank you enough. Glad we got the win today. Hopefully we can get another one in game 40, and I look forward to seeing you all there. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.